Hello, my name is Cameron Davis. I'm a senior at Tippecanoe High School, and my project falls under the Biomedical and Health Sciences category. For my project, I conducted a preclinical trial where I experimented on 3 different optical modalities to test the efficacy in getting rid of an optical condition called superficial punctate keratitis, otherwise known as SPK. Now, SPK is categorized as epithelial loss or damage to the cornea. Now, this damage or loss can be derived from many different things. However, in my case, SPK is derived from a condition called nocturnal log ophthalmos, which is incomplete closure when sleeping. This incomplete closure destroys water retention and tear retention within the eye and destroys the tear evaporation cycle, which is what allows your eye to keep water retention. So, with that said, I formulated a hypothesis based on the 3 modalities that I tested. Those 3 modalities being an over-the-counter Refresh Teardrop by Bausch & Lomb, the gold standard in the optical world, which is Procera by BioTissue. It is a medical graft that utilizes stem cells to completely flip and regenerate the health of the cornea. And lastly, Mibo, which is fresh off the market in 2022 and is the only single drop that is a prescription for dry eye disease and contains no saline content, which means its viscosity is off the charts. I chose these 3 because 1 can be represented as a control group, 1 is the gold standard and has been proven to work through various different clinical trials and studies, and 1 is non-FDA approved. However, the properties of the solution make sense for it to possibly heal SPK regardless of the literature in Mibo, which say that they do not know why it works. However, it is a prescription for dry eye disease, which can be a leading factor for SPK. Now, my hypothesis with this background information was, I believe that Procera will be the most effective and efficient in healing my superficial punctate keratitis over the control group of Refresh Tears and Mibo. With this hypothesis, I conducted my experiment. My experiment consisted of 1 month with the Refresh Tears with an optical coherence tomography picture at the beginning and end of the month. This optical coherence tomography picture, also known as the OCT picture, allows me to see the superficial punctate keratitis, which is categorized on a scale of 1 to 4. This scale is called the Dry Eye Workshop Scale and is a compository score given by a professional optical doctor. This score allows me to see what scale I have with my SPK. I ranked at a 1. In the beginning of the month of December, it was a 30-day trial where I used 4 drops each day for the Refresh Tears. I stayed at a 1 and saw 0% efficacy within the entire month in both eyes, both right and left, 4 drops a day with the Refresh Tears. Then, in the month of February, I experimented for 15 days with the Mibo drop. The Mibo drop I used twice a day, both morning and night, and I did an OCT picture every single 2 days. I saw a linear progression in my SPK health and a linear downgrade in my DEW score. I saw 100% efficacy for SPK healing with the Mibo drop. This was over a 15-day period with 2 drops a day. For my third solution, I used the Procera by BioTissue. The Procera medical graft utilizes stem cells that activate stem cells within the cornea to regenerate corneal health and return your eye back to a birth-like state of health. Now, I did this experiment over a 48-hour period as prescribed by BioTissue. This 48-hour period, I had a DEW scale of 1 in my left eye, and after that 48-hour period, I went all the way down to a 0. Parallel with the efficacy of Mibo, I saw a 100% regression in SPK and a DEW scale of 0 for both my left and right eye, left with the Prokera and right with the MIBO. Now, was my hypothesis proven correct? Yes, it was. Prokera still is the leading solution for SPK and getting rid of it. However, I discovered a brand new treatment for SPK. This brand new treatment is off-label, not approved by the FDA, and has not been discovered by Bausch & Lomb, who owns MIBO. The reason for this is Prokera is a medical graft, and within that medical graft is placental tissues and is derived from the amniotic membrane. That amniotic membrane is stretched over a polycarbonate ring. That polycarbonate ring is placed in your eye like a contact for the duration of the experiment or the procedure. In my case, it was 48 hours. Within this 48 hours, the medical graft is able to heal the eye. However, with MIBO, because the viscosity is so high, it creates a natural film over the epithelial layer over the eye, which is where the SPK is exhibited. The SPK is healed naturally because the moisture retention that was stripped away from my nocturnal log ophthalmus, the incomplete closure, is now returned with something with such a high viscosity count. This exhibits natural healing, where the eye can heal itself rather than the graft healing itself. Both are 100% efficacy. The MIBO is a brand new treatment that I discovered, and with these findings, I believe needs to be exhibited in 2 clinical trials. One clinical trial with various different DEW scores to test the severity of DEW and the effectiveness of MIBO on different DEW scales. Now, it also needs to be done on a larger scale, where Prokera is the initial treatment, where the SPK is completely removed from the eye, as it has been proven for 100% efficacy, no matter how much the severity is. This was seen in a continuation project of my own from last year. I had a DEW scale of 2, and I used the Prokera graft and saw a complete regression of SPK and a DEW scale of 0 after 48 hours. So I've seen this work in my own experience, and it's been published on many clinical trials where 100% efficacy of the Prokera graft is seen. With that said, Prokera would be the initial treatment, and MIBO would be a maintenance treatment after that, and could be a lifetime cure for someone with SPK. Those are my conclusions, and that is what I believe needs to be done with my findings. My name is Cameron Davis. Thank you so much.